Hey guys, it's Mr. Server. I just wanted to give you a quick little lesson on a couple things to help you be just that much smarter. Did you know that if you were going to take 25 and square it, of course you know that's 25 times 25, but can you do that in your head? Because I can. I got a shortcut for you. It's pretty cool. It's super simple. Of course we could do it the long way. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10. Add the little 2 there, makes 12. 0 to hold the place. 5 times 2 is 10. And 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. And that makes 625. That is the right answer. 25 squared is 625. But let's see if you can figure this out. Do you get that the 5 squared part is 25? Coincidence? I think not. And then this 6, you could have gotten that by taking 2 times the next consecutive number. Just 2 times 3 makes the 6, so 625. Did you catch that? If you caught that, who in here can do 35 squared? I'm going to give a nice long wait time. If you know it, just say it out loud. You just should have said 1225. Let me show you. The 5 squared is the 25 part. And 3 times the next consecutive number, 3 times 4 is 12, so 1225. So you learned a way to square numbers. Now this, kind of a big limitation, it only works when you have a 5 at the end. So 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. But yeah, it's still kind of fun to like try to stump one of your friends. Like, you know, what's 75 squared? And you can do it in your head super fast. Can you do it? What's 75 squared? Somebody please. All right, good. 7 times the 8 makes 56, and then 5 squared is 25. 5625. 5,625. All right, there's all kinds of little tricks like that for math to be able to do it in your head. One more I just want to talk through quick that's a little more practical is just like, let's say we had 70 times 23. Do you get that I can really break this into 2 parts and say, I'm going to write it this way. 70 times 23 really can be done in your head by breaking this into 70 times 20 plus 3. Because I think you can all do 70 times 20. I'm just going to distribute this out now. 70 times 20. Well, 7 times 2 is 14. Add a couple zeros because there's a couple zeros. 1400. And then 70 times the 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Add a 0. 210. And of course, I have to add them. So this would be 1610. Oopsie. All right, so that's another shortcut that's kind of powerful. So let's just see if you caught that. What's 80 times 16? Hint, you're going to break the 16 up into 2 things. 10 plus 6. So you can do it in your head. Hope you're catching on to this. 80 times 10. 8 times 1 is 8. Add a couple zeros. 800 plus 80 times 6. 6 times 8 is 48. Add a 0. 480. Add them together. Makes 1280. All right. So there's another just shortcut to doing math. So hopefully by now you know how to square things that have a 5 at the end. You also know how to multiply things out by breaking them up. And let's just see, you have a little final test on that. I'm going to ask the sub to pause this for a second after I write these 2 problems out, and then we'll see how many of you got them right. So question number 1 would be, what is 55 squared? And don't do it the long way. I'll never know, but don't cheat. See if you can do it with the shortcut. And number 2, what is 20 times 12? Again, I would break that up into 2 parts that make it simpler. All right, I'll pause while you give that a shot. Okay, so hopefully you've got 5 times 6 makes 30, and then you end with the 5 squared is 25. 3025. Raise your hand if you got that one right. All right, cool. The other one is 20 times 10 plus 2, and then 20 times the 10, that's basically 2, add a couple zeros, is 200. 20 times 2 is 40, 240. How many of you had that one right? Okay, cool. All right, then the last thing I want to do with you is show you a game that I'd like you to play against another player. I want you to play at minimum 3 games of NIM. In this game of NIM is kind of cool. It's a logic game. Helps develop the logic side of your brain. You make 3 sets of 5 lines, like this. Okay, now you can do this on an iPad. Just have a blank iPad. Write 3 sets of lines on it like this. Now, NIM is a greedy game. You are trying to not get the most number of sticks, but you want the last stick. The last melon, so to speak, in case you've seen Ice Age. All right, so I think that's Ice Age. Anyway, if you were going to play this game with me right now, I'm going to act like I'm red and you're blue, okay? I can take any number of these sticks that are next to each other. So in other words, I cannot take this and that one, but I could take this, this, and this one. Okay, so let's say I took these 3. Now it's your turn. Let's say you're taking blue. And let's say I imagine that you were thinking about taking these 2 right here. Okay, well then it's my turn, and I'm going to use red. And again, I can take any number of them that are in a row. So I'm going to take something kind of unusual. I'm going to take these 3. And let's say that you took this one. And I take, let's say, these 2. And then you take this one. And I take this one. And you take that one. And I get the last melon. I get the last straw, or the last stick. Therefore, I win. Red won this game only because, not because I had more sticks, but because I got the last one. All right, so that's the goal, is to try to get the last stick. Now, there is a way to be able to win this pretty consistently. I shouldn't say every time, but you can get really good at this if you notice something. I'm going to see if anybody here notices the pattern. If you do notice the pattern, then you should be able, when we come back together, I'll see you after when I come back, and you should be able to beat me in a game of NIM if you've caught the pattern. All right, so again, you're going to start with 3 sets of 5 lines, and then you guys can flip for who goes first, or you can offer the other person to go first, whatever. Somebody starts, and let's say they take all of these. Yeah, you can take all of those if you want to, as long as they're in the set. You can't say, I'll take all of these and all of those and all of those. Of course, you're going to win right off the bat because you'll have gotten the last one. That's one more thing sometimes people get confused on. Is, let's say I take these, let's say you take those, and I take all of these, and you take all of those. You've won because you got the last one in your set of 5 there. You got the last one. So you don't have to take the last one as a single stick. You can take it in a set of sticks. So if you get the last stick, no matter whether it was in a set of 1, 2, or 3, or whatever, you won. So red would have won this game because of this move right here, where they took the last stick. All right, that is the game of NIM. I would like you to get into sets of 2. If there's ever any class that has an odd number of people, maybe the substitute can be paired up with that other person. And I want you to try to play at least 3 games of NIM against somebody else. And then, unless the teacher gives you any other assignment that I've also given, that's all I got for you for today.